Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. We're going to uncover how a quick 5-minute stop to wash your car can actually pull in more cash than a lot of luxury restaurants or even small manufacturing companies. It's kind of mind-blowing. To really get this, we've got to peel back the layers of a business that, let's be honest, most of us completely ignore. You drive by, you see a couple of employees, some soapy water, and you got to wonder, where on earth is all this money actually coming from? I mean, how does such an everyday, mundane service suddenly grab the attention of heavy-hitting Wall Street investors?
Well, there's a huge disconnect between what we think and the actual economic reality. A lot of us see a $20 ticket and just assume, oh, that's the low profit, sure. But here's the secret. They aren't relying on one person dropping hundreds of bucks at once. They rely on something way more powerful, and that is volume. That steady, relentless flow of cars is exactly what transforms a simple chore into an absolute multi-million-dollar economic engine.
So, the first real secret to unlocking that crazy volume is a total shift in perspective. Turns out, these places, they aren't actually selling soap. They are selling time. Think about it. People are more than happy to pay a few bucks to avoid spending an hour sweating out in their driveway with a bucket and sponge. And businesses that are built entirely around giving people their time back, yeah, those often turn out to be the most profitable ones out there. Plus, the sheer size of this market is just staggering. We are talking about over 280 million registered vehicles in the US alone. And between daily commutes, winter road salt, and, those flocks of birds with suspiciously perfect aim during pollen season, cars are constantly getting filthy. And you can't just leave that grime on there because it literally damages the paint over time. That creates a massive, never-ending, and absolutely necessary demand. Right, so how do operators actually capture all that demand? Well, not every wash is built the same. You've got your self-service spots, which keeps labor low, sure, but it really bottlenecks your volume. Then you have in-bay automatics, which are a bit better. But the absolute profit powerhouse, that is the express tunnel. By continuously moving cars along a conveyor belt, this model can process just an astonishing number of vehicles every single hour, all with barely any staff.
And this brings us to the crucial daily math that makes these express tunnels so incredibly lucrative. Let's break it down. If a busy wash serves just 250 vehicles a day and your average customer spends about $22, that is $5,500 every single day. Multiply that out across a whole year, and boom, you easily cross that $2 million revenue mark. And if it's a busy weekend right after a rainstorm, that daily volume can literally double.
But here's what really changed the industry and made all those big institutional investors sit up and take notes. It was a massive paradigm shift. See, years ago, car wash revenue was a roller coaster, up and down depending on the weather or the season, because people only paid when they showed up. But then came the ultimate game changer, unlimited monthly memberships. Instead of crossing their fingers and hoping a customer comes back, operators started offering a flat monthly fee for unlimited washes. And that completely transformed the entire financial structure of the business.
Just picture this. A location signs up 3,000 members, and they're each paying $35 a month. That's over $100,000 in highly predictable recurring cash flow hitting the bank every single month. And that is before a single walk-in customer even rolls onto the lot. Whether a member washes their car once a month or 10 times, that revenue is completely locked in. For investors, this kind of stability is basically the holy grail.
Now, alongside those memberships, we've got to talk about the undeniable power of the upsell. Say a customer drives in and they're only planning to get that basic entry-level wash for $12. Seems cheap, seems effective, right? But getting them onto the lot, that's really just the very beginning of the transaction. Because once they pull up to that kiosk, they are immediately greeted with a whole menu of premium upgrades. We're talking ceramic coatings, the tire shine, undercarriage cleaning, and of course those brightly colored, sweet-smelling triple foam treatments that the kids in the back seat always go crazy for. Suddenly, that basic wash is nothing more than a blank canvas for some seriously high-margin add-ons. So, very quickly, that customer who fully intended to only spend $12, they end up tapping the screen for the premium wax and the tire shine, and suddenly they're leaving with the $28 ticket instead. And here's the kicker. Because the fixed costs of running that tunnel are already paid for, these optional upgrades are pretty much pure profit. When you multiply that small ticket increase across thousands and thousands of customers, the annual revenue just absolutely skyrockets. Now, hearing all these massive numbers, you'd probably think the expensive, high-tech tunnel equipment itself is the biggest asset the owner has, right? Well, surprisingly, it's not. The true foundation of all this wealth is actually the location. It's the prime real estate.
You could literally have identical equipment and the exact same prices at two different lots, but the wash located right next to busy supermarkets, huge neighborhoods, and major commuter roads is going to completely dominate. You don't have to convince people to drive all the way across town. The traffic is already right there. Plus, the land itself usually just keeps getting more valuable over time.
And when you factor in modern technology, the efficiency just goes completely through the roof. Today's car washes use automated license plate recognition to instantly identify those monthly members, which keeps the line moving super fast with zero human interaction. You've got water recycling systems that absolutely slash utility bills. All this tech means a tiny team can process hundreds of cars an hour, keeping those profit margins incredibly high to protect that $2 million revenue stream.
This exact formula, the combo of recurring revenue and tech-driven efficiency, is exactly why massive institutional investment firms are just aggressively running this playbook right now. They're swooping in, buying up successful independent washers, and consolidating them to negotiate even lower operating costs. For anyone keeping an eye on business trends, it is honestly a masterclass in how to scale stable cash flow.
Okay, so hearing all of this, it sounds like a totally guaranteed gold mine, doesn't it? Which brings us to a really important question. Does every single location out there just automatically make millions? Like, can anyone just pave a random lot and start printing money? Well, the short answer is absolutely not.
Success here depends entirely on execution. The poorly managed locations, they fail because they just don't prepare for reality. Think about it. One rainy month can totally crush your walk-in demand. A single broken conveyor belt can halt operations completely. Plus, you're dealing with tight labor markets, fierce new competitors popping up, and super strict environmental regulations. The operators pulling in $2 million aren't somehow magically avoiding these problems. They are just actively outmanaging them.
But here is the main takeaway from this explainer, and it's a truly powerful lesson for any entrepreneur or just anyone fascinated by business. You do not need some flashy, revolutionary, viral idea to build incredible wealth. Sometimes, the most extraordinary businesses are built right on top of the most ordinary, boring services. It's really just about finding a predictable customer need, delivering fast service, locking down an excellent location, and then executing a smart system every single day. These places quietly solve an everyday problem again and again for thousands of people. So, the very next time you're out running errands and you pull into one of those brightly colored tunnels, I want you to ask yourself a question. What other ordinary, invisible, multi-million-dollar economic engines did you just drive past today without even noticing? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and remember, always keep looking for the extraordinary hiding in the everyday.